Hey everybody, I'm Alabama Boss.
And I'm Ashla Taylor. Welcome to Bedtime Stories.
We will be reading These Big Nuts.
Oh, I thought these were children's books.
It is.
Written by Mark Thunder.
Which is also a porno name.
Like if I go to the library in the children's section, this will be in the children's section.
I doubt that.
Dee was a squirrel who had big nuts. Would you like to read the next page?
I'll try. His nutsack was so big that it would drag the ground everywhere he went.
Dee had a friend named Sarah who loved his nuts. Sarah would go around town trying to put everyone's nuts in her mouth.
Well, Sarah was a whore. Sarah loved how big Dee's nuts were. His nuts were her favorite. They were the biggest nuts she had ever seen.
She would play with his nuts all day and sometimes even at night. Sometimes her mom would join. Okay, that's too far. That's too far. They would take turns holding Dee's nuts at night.
Sarah's mom was a whore too.
I think that's where Sarah got it from.
Sometimes Sarah would even try to put both of Dee's nuts in her mouth at the same time. Sarah would giggle. Her face would turn red, much like mine, and then his nuts would come flying out.
One day, someone ran up to his nuts and started poking them. "Hey, jerk off my nuts," he said.
Although Sarah loved Dee's nuts, she would sometimes kick them. She once kicked them.
I read ahead.
Oh my gosh, I just read it. She once kicked them so hard, she busted one of Dee's nuts.
Dee was very sad that Sarah busted his nut. He just wanted Sarah to play nice with his nuts.
One day, when his nuts were feeling better, she took them to lunch. You just read this one. You read this one. You go ahead and read it.
Who sat down and thought of this and wrote this?
I could write it. That's what's sad.
Oh, God. One day, when his nuts were feeling better, she took them to lunch, where she got peanut butter all over them. His nuts were so sticky. Ugh.
Ooh.
I have this horrible mental image right now of hairy nutsack with peanut butter on them, and it's...
After that day, she knew she would need to play nice, because all good squirrels know how to play nice with big nuts.
The end. That was Dee's Big Nuts, written by Mark Thunder.
I think it should be laying on the coffee table at everyone's home.
That was definitely a conversation piece. Well, that was Bedtime Stories. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful book, Dee's Big Nuts. Never know what we're gonna pull out of our library. I'm Ashla Taylor.
I'm Alabama Boss.
Good night.
Good night, little buddy.